You ready? I can cut off the first few seconds in
I'm ready.
editing.
I'm ready.
All right.
I have been asked to explain the reason for my telling Riley stories to first my nieces and nephews, and then my children, and then my grandchildren. For over 55 years, I've been telling stories about Riley, who I called the master criminal. Riley was born, in my mind, to be much like a Robin Hood, to rob from the rich, to give to the poor. He assembled a gang from the west side of Manhattan to help him pull off his capers. That eventually was his downfall, and he always taught people, the more people know who we are, the better chance they have of finding out who we are. That is what we must keep quiet and among ourselves. Someday there'll be a traitor. Everyone gets mixed up when a traitor in their group turns them in, and that's what happened to us. However, I developed this gang and decided we'd steal from whoever we could that had money and then distribute it to the poor. We weren't looking to get rich ourselves. We were looking to take care of the people around us. So I developed my first caper. My gang thought I was crazy. I thought I was a little crazy too, and maybe I am. But I decided to steal the Empire State Building. They all said, not only is that crazy, but it's impossible. And I taught them, nothing's impossible. If we put our mind to it, we can do anything. And so they said, all right, explain to us, how do we steal a 103-story building? I said, well, we sort of make it disappear in the minds of the people. If we can do that, we will become rich. But we will not use that money for ourselves, but for the poor people around us. So one of the groups said, all right, Riley, tell us. He said, we need 4 trucks. We need huge mirrors on the trucks. And we need a nice, bright, sunny day. As the sun goes over the Hudson River, it shines down on the mirrors that we've placed on the trucks. The mirrors reflect light to the Empire State Building, and to the naked eye, the building will appear gone. So Riley and his group developed 4 trucks. They developed huge mirrors in the back of each truck. They drove them to 3 or 4 points around the Empire State Building. And when the sun was over the Hudson River, they opened the doors to the building. The sun shined and reflected the light onto the building. And to the eye of anyone around it, the building was gone. Of course, not really gone, but it can't be seen. I then called the mayor of the New York City and said, we expect to have $10 million deposited in this account. I'll give you the account number. And the mayor said, are you crazy? I'm not going to give you $10 million. Well, how do you expect to get $10 million from us? He said, because I'm stealing the Empire State Building. The mayor laughed. Said, yeah, well, you go right ahead and steal it. Riley said, I'll call you back. 15 minutes later, as the sun shined on the mirrors pointed at the Empire State Building, to the naked eye, everyone in the Midtown Manhattan could no longer see the Empire State Building. Riley called the mayor back and said, okay, I've got the building. I know you'll send me the $10 million. And the mayor said, he said, why don't you just check with your police chief? So the mayor picked up the phone, called his police chief, asked the police chief, what's going on at the Empire State Building? The police chief said, I don't know, but I'll call the precinct. He called the precinct, got the captain on the phone, and he asked the captain, what's going on at the Empire State Building? The captain said, as far as I know, nothing, but hold on. He called a couple of his local sergeant, who was there at the scene, and asked him, what is with the Empire State Building? They said, sir, I'm afraid we can't see the Empire State Building anymore. It seems to have disappeared right before our eyes. He says, you're kidding. He says, no, I'm not kidding. The Empire State Building is gone. It's not there. We cannot see it. Well, the police chief called back to the mayor and said, I'm afraid that whoever this crazy person is, they apparently have stolen the Empire State Building. The mayor said, oh my God, all right. He called Riley back and he told Riley, All right, are you going to give us back the Empire State Building? Riley said, yes, as soon as the money is in that account I gave you, I'll give you back the Empire State Building. The mayor had the money deposited. The mayor called his men and said, close your trucks. He closed the trucks, and voila, Empire State Building magically reappeared. And that was the first of Riley's many, many episodes with stealing money to give to the poor. His gang was very loyal to him, and he told them all that loyalty someday, like most people, there'll be a traitor who will turn us all in. So we must be prepared for that. In the meantime, all of the money we steal will be given to the poor. From there, Riley, over the years, actually stole money from the Federal Reserve building in New York. He actually got into and stole much of the gold from Fort Knox. And that was his downfall. The problem with stealing gold is they're in bars. Now you have to convert the bars for cash. And in converting the bars, people will talk. How did you get these bars? And with that, the police figured out exactly who was doing it, rounded up a couple of his team members, and they gave up Riley. Riley, thank God, found out that the police knew who he was and were after him. And so, as any smart criminal would do, he managed to disappear. He disappeared by changing his looks, having his fingerprints scratched from his hands, and realizing that they would never be able to catch me. Another story is whether or not Riley gets caught. But right now, he's on the run with all the gold bars, and he has no idea what he's going to do with them. The rest of the Riley story can be told at another time, because it really hasn't been completed.
All
He
right.
has a long, long, long time to go to continue to rob from the rich and give to the poor. I hope you enjoyed this story.
Thank you.
You're welcome.